to a show that is so grand it really can't be beat. It's the Chamber Music Society of Lower Basin Street. So listen every Sunday. I know you'll like it well. From the opening bars of Basin Street to Haydn's great farewell. Thank you, Professor Alessandro Arturo Templeton, herein before known as Professor Alec. And any time you care to park your piano under our microphone, kindly give us the nod. And Blue Room is definitely on the way up right now. That early American classic, Blue Room.
When the final story of the birth of America's blues is written, a large chapter undoubtedly will be given over to a musician whose name you all know. He was in New Orleans when the blues began, and he took an important part in the event. At the age of 20, he was a piano professor on Basin Street. He wrote music for King Porter. He knew Buddy Bolden and Stalebread Lacombe. And he remembers Louis Armstrong in short trousers. And both as a performer and personality, he has been an active American classicist ever since. It is now our privilege to present from our concert stage Dr. Ferdinand Jelly Roll Morton, playing one of his own compositions, Whinin' Boy. As an encore, we have asked Dr. Ferdinand Jelly Roll Morton to play one of the most famous of all his many compositions, the King Porter Stomp. Thank you, Professor Ferdinand Jelly Roll Morton. Last week at this time, Maestro Paul Laval knocked himself out with a work which he had arranged in 5-part harmony. Figuring that was about as many parts as one man could handle, he decided to try an artistic ruse, whereupon he chose up sides with himself and allotted 3 parts to a side. The result is a work which features 6-part harmony. The piano and celeste virtuosity of Professor Milton Paradise Lost Krauss, and many new woodwind combinations unknown up to this time. Maestro Paul Laval's very special treatment of Stardust. gentlemen, ever since we came on the air with this series of concerts, we've had many requests for our orchestra, one of our two orchestras, to play the Basin Street, which is our theme in its entirety as a special arrangement. We have that time today, and it is our pleasure to introduce the orchestra under Dr. Levine playing the Basin Street.
So, music lovers, and those of you who can either take your culture or leave it be, we've come to the end of another concert by the no doubt world-renowned Chamber Music Society of Lower Basin Street. Next Sunday at this time, our concert will be dedicated to the early Dixieland Band. At that time, Dr. Hamilton will introduce, besides all our regulars, Tony Sabarbaro, drummer and kazoo artist of the original Dixieland Band, who will be our guest commentator. Jimmy Lytell, clarinetist of the original Memphis Five, and Frankie Signorelli, pianist of both these historic groups. And now, in the words of the immortal Hector Ludwig von Kravner, that peer among composers and musicians, I'd like to say that this is the National Broadcasting Company.